Hello guys, today's topic is data driven testing here. Data driven testing. Somewhat we also called it as data driven framework DDF. Sir, what is meant by data driven framework here? Observe carefully. See, till now what we have did, see, for example, this is my Eclipse. So directly I am writing the program here, class A. Class is there means what is mandatory? Main method is mandatory. Okay, then webdriver, driver is equal to new edge driver. As we know that this is the upcasted statement and I am opening one application here, driver.get. You can open any application. Okay, and this application contains three web elements. One is username and second one is password and third one is login button. Are you understanding? Now observe carefully. Username is the one element, password is the second element and third one is the login button. Boss, what I am doing here, first of all I will inspect for this username. Okay, and I will write the code here. So enter username. So for this purpose I will write the code driver dot find element by dot xpath locator, write xpath expression dot, if you want to enter any values inside the web page, then we will be having one method called as send keys. What is the method name? Send keys here. Now observe carefully, dot send keys I will use. Dot send keys I will use and I will give the proper username. For example, username is admin. So can I write admin here? Yes. Good. Now the same for password field. So can I write the same expression, driver dot find element by dot xpath, and here xpath expression we have to write again dot send keys. Okay, and directly I will write the password. Password is for example manager. Done. And finally this is the button. Okay, and we need to click on this one. Okay, now see, so driver dot find element by dot xpath expression, here we will write xpath expression, and finally since it is button guys, we need to use click method. Which method here? Click method. Okay, now I will close the main method block and I will close the class block. Okay, so this is your simple test script. Okay, but there is one problem with respect to this test script here. Sir, what is the problem? That observe carefully. Boss, what I have did here, I am hard coding everything here. See, this is the username, even this is the password. So this is the test data. This test data I am hard coding here. But in practically we cannot hard code the test data inside the test script. So if you really want to avoid the hard coding of data, then this concept comes into picture. What we called it as then data driven testing or data driven framework. So what is meant by data driven testing or data driven framework here? Boss, what we can do here, we can store this admin and manager. It means this username and manager inside the external resources. So what are the external resources are there? For example, you can store in the property file, you can store in the Excel sheet, even you can store in the JSON file or XML files. So these are some external resources. So we need to store the test data inside the external resources and we can fetch them by using the third parties. So that process is called as data driven framework or data driven testing. Okay, I will show you here. Observe carefully. Now see, I'll take some external resources. I will write the third parties, and finally we'll call them in the test script. Observe carefully. See, the first one is external resources. So what are the external resources are there, that I will teach you. Then which third party we are using them, and this is your actual test script. Okay, so I'll write here like this. So this is our actual test script. Boss, observe carefully. So the first external resource is property file. Which file it is? Property file. Sir, what is mean by property file, sir? Property file is nothing but, boss, we called it as notepad. Which pad it is? Notepad. And we can store the data inside the property file by using extension called as dot properties. Okay. Now see. So username, password, browser, everything I can store inside the property file. For example, I will show you. This is one property file. Username, okay, admin, password should be manager, even browser should be edge, like this. I will write the data here. And one more thing, while writing data inside the property file, we should have to take one point in our mind. Boss, property file can be stores data in the form of key and value pairs. Which pairs? Key and value pair. So in between key and value, you have to give only one space. How many spaces, ma? Only one space. Okay. Now observe carefully. Either you can give one space or you can write is equal to symbol. So both are working here. No issue at all. Okay. So once it is done, then finally we have to store this file. So how to save this file? Boss, I will write the name as credentials dot properties. Sir, why you are writing extension as a dot properties here? Boss, that is the rule. If you want to create the property file, the extension should be dot properties here. Are you understanding? Yes. Now see, I will fetch that data. How I am fetching? I am using the third party. Sir, what is the third party here? Directly you can write Java library. Or we can say there is one class in our Java, file input stream class. Which class? File input stream class. Okay. Now by using this class, we can fetch the data from the property file and easily we can write that data inside the test script. Done? Okay. So second external resource I will take here, Excel sheet. Which sheet? Excel sheet. Now observe. Boss, what is the extension for the Excel sheet here? In the Excel sheet, we can store data in the form of, or else I'll write like this. 1 minute. Yes. The extension of the Excel sheet should be .xlsx. XLSX. And how we can call that particular data? By using the third party called as Apache POI jars. Which jars? Apache POI jars. Are you understanding? And aram se we can fetch that data inside the test script. Again, I will write here JSON file. Which file it is? JSON file. Sir, what is the extension for JSON file then? .json. Boss, I am writing all the extensions in the lower cases because always we can write extensions in the lower cases only. Am I right? Yes. Now observe. So I am using third party here. What is the name of the third party, sir? The third party name is Jackson. Actually, it is parser. We will be having two parsers. One is Jackson and second one is JaxRS here. Now observe. And from here, we can easily call the data inside the test script. Are you understanding? Yes. Now, same way, we will be having a fourth external resource. We called it as XML file. Which file it is? XML file. It is JSON file. Sir, what is the extension for XML then? .xml. And we can fetch the data by using the third party called as testng. Okay, what is testng? Testng is the unit testing tool for the developers and it is acting as a framework for the test engineers. Am I right? Yes, and aram se we can call the data inside the test script. It means what? To avoid the hard coding of data, what I am doing here, I am storing the data inside the external resources, external files. So what are the external files are there? Property file is there, Excel sheet is there, JSON file is there, and finally XML file is there. If you are storing data inside the property file, if you want to fetch the data from the property file, then we are using the third party called as Java library or file input stream class. Are you understanding? Same way for Apache PyJar, we are for Excel sheet we are using Apache POI jar files, and for JSON file we are using the third party Jackson, and for XML file we are using the third party as a testng. By using these all third parties, we can easily call data inside your main test script. It means what? Here is your test script and your test data can be stored inside the external resources. It means we are avoiding hard coding of data. Are you understanding? Yes.